Let me know when we're good. My name Kodak Black, but when you see me, I'm white. You good?
You good? I'm rolling it. I'm done. 3, 2, 1.
Alright, cool. Welcome back to another episode of Training My Podcast. It's your host, Oscar Daddy, Durek Poppy, Jameson Poppy, aka just playing I'm in a relationship. Another week, another episode, of course. Man, I'm so good with these intros. But, yo, I don't even, listen, I'm just gonna let you guys bask in the visuals for a sec, because I've been killing it. I'm gonna pat myself on the back. I know you guys looking at this like, who is this nigga? Not you, me. Who is this nigga? Like, he's coming week after week, and he's fucking, look at, like, I look like I'm on a fucking, like, a movie type shit. You know what I mean? It's like, so tell me about this movie. Anyway, we're gonna get to that later. But the point is, I'm very happy about the set that we got today. I'm happy, like, we keep excelling, leveling up. The whole team, everyone's doing amazing things. We're bringing amazing people on the team, too. So shout out to everyone here. That being said, we have an amazing guest. You guys watching already know who it is. You're like, oh my God, he got him. So you guys listening have no idea because he hasn't said anything yet. But this is a person who, if you're in Toronto, but you've been watching this guy's videos from day one. Like, there's no way you could have not seen this guy, not known who he was, used any of his lingo, if you're from the city. So even if you're not from the city, Mississauga niggas use shit, Brampton niggas use it, Durham niggas use it. So like, the impact on culture for the city, immense. Also the impact in terms of just content creation and, you know, just being a funny nigga and just, you know, being a ladies man, you know what I mean? Like, all these things, like, so much influence on people. So, I mean, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce my guest for this week, that dude McFly, a.k.a. Mr. Marlon Palmer.
Thanks for having me, bro.
What an intro.
What an intro. What an intro. I'm going to e-transfer you after.
Nah, man, this is actually, like, this is definitely, like, teenage me is amped as fuck. I'm across from this nigga, you know what I mean? Just, like, you're about to kick it right now, so... I wanted to start with a couple topics. You know, you already shared with. I wanted to share with you. I wanted to start with Tory and Meg, but I actually want to start with Batman now because I saw your tweets, bro. All right, so we're recording this on March 5th, right? March 5th today. Batman came out early Wednesday because that's when I saw it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I saw it on Wednesday. Me and my girl went to go see it. It was 3 hours long. Some point in the movie, I was like, I think I'm old because I'm getting very, very tired, right? And that's already not a good sign about how the movie is.
It's not age.
But, I mean, go ahead. Give me your take on the movie. What do you think about it?
It's horrible.
Really?
It's not horrible. Okay, let me put it this way. It's not a horrible movie, right? But I felt like I was watching an extended version of CSI.
That is so crazy that you said that because my girl said I feel like I was watching Criminal Minds.
Like, it feels like, and I get it, you know, Batman in the comics was a detective. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't care. Mm-hmm. I want to see more. Like, and especially when you have people just whispering for the majority of the movie.
That's a fact.
And it's super dark in the movie. Mm-hmm. It's like, and some of the stuff weren't as impressive as people are making it out to be. I saw people talking about the car chase. I'm like,
oh, come on.
That was 2 minutes and a half, and I've seen better on Fast and Furious.
That was so mediocre.
Fast and Furious drove around with 2 bank vaults.
Niggas jumped out of one building, landing in the other. Like, that's insane.
And we're going crazy because Batman in a Dodge Charger with a rocket launcher on his back found a convenient ramp during a car crash.
But the car was clean.
Did you see the ramp just slide into...
It was too dark. But the car was clean, though. Don't lie.
Of course, the car is sick, but, like, it's not...
It's not a Batmobile level, though.
Batmobile.
Like, it didn't... You're right.
You're trying to make things too new age. Then there was the white privilege line.
I was, dog. Me and
I want to throw up.
That was so nasty. Like, she's like, yeah, we have to get this done because, you know, these privileged white men. I was like, dog.
I was like, are we fucking doing this right now, man?
So pandery, bro.
Yeah,
it was, dog. But anyway, the whole movie, though, you're right. It's very, very, very mediocre. That's the review that I gave it. I was disappointed because, you know, Rob Pattinson, I'm like, yo, that's my guy. I like this guy. Everyone's kind of shitting on. You don't like him at all?
Not my guy.
We're going to get to that.
He's very awkward. Him and the Twilight girl, perfect for each other.
Okay.
They're so awkward.
Did you see him in Good Time, though?
Huh?
Good Time. Have you seen that movie?
No.
You have to watch it.
See, I blackball his performances, and I probably shouldn't. But like every time I've seen it, including this one, another disappointment. I'll say this though, he's not a bad Batman. In terms of like, he's the first Batman I could really hear clearly speak since one of the Batmans in the 90s.
Yeah, he didn't do the Batman. He's not Batman.
My parents are dead. Like, he didn't do any of that, right? No Cookie Monster talk.
Yeah.
And even just the emo Batman, like I remember that from the comics. I remember, well, not from the comics, the animated show.
Yeah.
I remember him being a little emotional and dark. You know what I mean? And
his parents died. Like he's a gloomy kid, and he's rich. Of course he's gonna be.
And this is like him before he learns. This is how he learns. Spoiler alert: empathy, I guess, because all he wants is vengeance, right?
Yeah.
And then the movie throughout the movie, the lesson he learns is I don't need to be that.
I didn't even get
dark.
that from the I was just like, the movie's done, let me go home.
I get it. Trust me. I fell asleep twice. My girl had to nudge me. Full snores. My girl, yo, you're snoring in the thing. I'm like, yo, what do you want me to do?
But there was one part that I don't know if it's supposed to be funny, but I'm on the verge of tears.
I think I know which part you're gonna say.
He was talking about, like, I was young. My mom brought me to the club. He's like, as a kid? Like, because her mom was a strip club. I mean, she worked as a stripper in that club, whatever. It's like, yeah, my mom would bring me to work. He's like, as a kid. I don't know why, but I lost it. Like, I had to hold my mouth. My girl was dying with me, too, but I'm like, nobody in the theater's laughing.
The part that I was laughing at was Riddler.
Oh.
He started making these sounds, and I was like, bro, you're doing too much. Like, this is crazy.
I remember when he was like, it's like, what is this? Bad cop? No, he's a good cop, bad shit cop. Yeah. Like, that was kind of funny, but besides
there were funny parts that I don't think were supposed to be funny. Like, I loved Colin Farrell as Penguin. I really like Penguin's character, but I don't think a lot of people.
That was Colin Farrell?
Yeah, see, I don't think a lot of people
That's
recognize
hard.
as Colin Farrell. There's a lot of prosthetics.
That's hard.
Yeah, he killed it. I think he did really well. Falcone, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Catwoman was the best part of the movie outside of the Riddler because she looks amazing.
Yeah.
And her story was kind of dope.
Yeah.
I think her story was more interesting than Batman. And that's the thing about Batman, which is why, like, I feel like this movie fell off. When you focus on Batman, he's the most boring part of the story.
I think, no, I don't.
Joker's more interesting.
100%.
Riddler. Harley Quinn is more interesting. Like, everybody has a more interesting story than this guy who his parents got robbed for their necklace and killed.
Yeah, but I like the fact that, I mean, I don't know if this is what's in the original movie, but in this movie, the fact that his mom's parents killed each other or whatever the fuck the story was. I didn't know about that. I like, that's a cool.
Well, it's like a new. I don't know if it's a new retelling or like they left it out of past movies. Okay. But they never really mentioned that in the Batman movie.
Yeah,
before.
so I like that. I like that. I mean, that's a cool little, interesting thing about his past. But besides that, the whole movie, I was kind of waiting for it to get good. Especially comparing it to something like Dark Knight. Like, there were so many amazing moments. Like, that's genius, or like, this villain's amazing, but. For this, dog, it was so...
And the thing is, I wanted it to be good. Like, I went into it amped. I saw the reviews. I'm like, oh, man, this is going to be sick. And I'm like, people are rating this above Dark Knight. I'm like,
oh, no, who did that?
I seen people say this.
No, they're paid, bro.
Bro, 10 out of 10. People are saying 10 out of 10 on this movie across the internet.
No.
And I'm here like, am I in a multiverse? No. Did I miss something? That movie's far from a 10 out of 10. At best, a 7. And that's generous.
It's a 6, bro.
It's a 6. It was a 5. I said 5.5.
Yeah.
I said 5.5. The movie is not, like, it's a decent movie. It's nothing special. It's not, if you're saying that's 10 out of 10, what is Parasite? What is Saw? What is...
up there for me like that.
Saw is the first one. When I first watched that movie, like the sequels ruined it.
Yeah,
but that first movie.
Let's talk about the Chris Rock one. Did you watch it?
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely the worst actor of all time.
I won't see Chris Rock in anything horror.
Yeah,
I can't believe, like I can't.
No, and he has Botox on too, so he's just like fuck, and his face is not moving. It's just bad. Bro.
Yeah, no, I can't do that. But yeah, no, like it's just that movie's not anywhere near what I would consider 10 out of 10 movies.
Not even close. Not
even close, man. And I feel like it's going to be like Cilantro. It's like people are either going to love it to death or they're going to hate it.
I'm not a fan of that poison poison plant. Honestly, it is disgusting.
Does it taste like toothpaste to you? Yep. See, you're the half that.
Yeah, it tastes like toothpaste and just like with a bit of like poison, you know? It's just disgusting. It's not good for you. Okay, that's enough on Batman. You guys go watch it. Have your own POVs, but honestly, dog, it let me down, man. Especially because Rob Pance is my guy. Like, the guy even makes music, man. Did you know that?
Absolutely not.
He makes music, bro.
I'm so not tapped into white culture.
I feel that shade.
It's not shade at all. No, I need to do better. I was telling my girl today, I was like, I need some white friends. Like, I need to tap into that algorithm. I'm not there. Algorithm's not showing me anything white.
There's no white people. Don't you live downtown?
Yeah, there's white people downtown, but like,
You don't deal with them?
I don't part with them.
Really? Even in media, you don't like?
I mean, I'm gonna be forced to more now that I'm like doing things outside again. But no, my circle mostly black.
Have you? Okay, this is kind of off topic. Have you ever worked corporate?
Not really.
Could you?
No.
Why?
I can't work for people. I
When
can't
did you
work for
realize
people,
that?
and I can't work in a structured system where it's like 9 to 5 every day. Like, no, no. I refuse. I'll be broke before I do that. On God.
I can't say anything. I want to say something. I can't say anything.
I hate that. I hate all of it. I hate having to wear whatever they tell you to wear. I hate freaking showing up when you're sick and having a bad day. I hate
I love my place.
I hate traffic. I hate going on road. I hate leaving my house. I can't control variables outside of my house. So if it's something that I'm putting together and I'm organizing, I have more control over how it can go. Yeah. And that's just, it's way easier on my like peace of mind, basically.
Right. Who? I mean, I cannot say anything. I want to so bad. All the points you said are valid.
Where do you work?
I can't say that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'll say I'll bleep it out. But like, nah, it's a very corporate company.
Banking? Banking? What's the sector?
But small talk is a thing that I'm not a fan of.
Fucking hate it.
I am big on just keeping it short and sweet.
How was your weekend? Oh, did you see the Raptors? It's so cold outside.
Shut the fuck up.
There's nobody that looks like me.
Ever.
And that's the hardest part.
All black people understand small talk is trash. Trash. Like, if you're doing small talk, our small talk like weaves into other talk, which we know it's when we hear the first thing, we know more is coming.
Exactly.
Whereas there's white, it's like
that's it though.
Drywall. It's like talking to drywall.
I'm a big believer of silence is good.
Great.
If we're in the elevator, we don't have to speak.
I love that.
We don't have to do any of that. Like, we can stay in the silence.
That's my policy all around. Like, friends, girlfriends.
Oh,
everything.
Getting the girlfriend back.
Just
man.
you could be in a room. Just don't be every second. Like,
how did
we
she take
talk,
that?
but don't every second, huh?
How did she take that?
I didn't say it to her directly. I kind of just soft conditioned it.
Yeah.
No, for the most part, I didn't have to say it. I saw that before dating, and then you're like, yeah.
Okay,
she gets it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna change. I'm not gonna change a person's habits. I'd more so find, who has the fit, and then it's like yeah.
You can kind of say like where you're at. You know what I mean in terms of like, we can just be quiet here. That's cool.
Hey,
I've said that
tons of times. I don't need to say it because my girl feels the same way.
Oh, that's fine.
She's like she's very much in especially when we go out, we have the same social media. As soon as I'm like, I feel like going home, I'll turn to her and she'll be like, yo, you want to go home? I'm like, yes.
Oh, man, that's so fire, bro.
Yeah. Once you have the same social media,
yeah,
I think your relationship lasts so much longer. You can't have an imbalance in social media. One person can't be a chatterbox and the other person doesn't like to speak, especially if the chatterbox is the woman.
Dog. I mean, there's no woman that's not a chatterbox. Anyway,
with men, I feel like it's a lot easier for women to shut them up or let them know that they're talking too much. With a man saying it to a woman, it's almost like offensive.
Yeah.
It's like an attack.
So what I wanted to say is, obviously, as you can see, we got these mugs here, courtesy Return to the Mac podcast. This is the brand new merch. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, we couldn't get the real ones in time, and that's why we have these stickers on them. But whatever.
True.
Anyway, let's get into the Meg and Tory situation, right? Akademiks came out on Twitter, released some information he thought to be factual. I think it might be the side from the audience. I think it may be factual information in terms of the DNA being inconclusive on the gun.
Well, this is the thing, right? You have one person saying something and deleting it, but then doubling down and posting it again a couple hours later after Meg kind of like calls him out on it. And when she called him out on it, what I noticed is that she mentioned legal action. And recently, within the past 2 weeks, Cardi just won a big lawsuit against Tasha K for libel and defamation. Which, if Ak is saying this online with his platform, is the exact same thing. And he's very well aware of Tasha K's situation. He's mentioned he's talked about it before. And I'm pretty sure he hinted at something like that day as well. So if, given all that information, shouldn't he be sued by now if that is what he's saying is false? And would he even tweet it again if he knew it wasn't true? That's what worries me, because it's like with this situation, you're gonna see a divide regardless, right? My dream situation is Tory didn't shoot her. Somebody else in the car, security or the friend, accidentally shot her. Meg didn't know, drunk, was told it was Tory, was piped up it was Tory. She's going to believe that if she doesn't know.
Right.
And she's going to feel like she's right, and she's not lying, obviously. And which is why you see her going so hard. And Tory's going to feel like he's not lying because he knows he didn't shoot anybody.
Exactly.
That is my dream situation to come out of this, because then people can shut up. And we forget about this, because it caused such a divide amongst black women and black men. Like, it was insane.
And that's the most frustrating part, because we only have the same amount of information on both sides. So for you to come to that conclusion is insane, right? I think, like you said, right, if this wasn't true, then he wouldn't be able to say it. I think that over time you're kind of seeing that the story is getting a little bit muddy, and it's tricky, right? It's a tricky one.
It's been getting muddy for a while, though. There was a time when she tweeted that somebody shot me. She didn't say Tory. She said, someone shot me, and y'all are... And everyone was like, why'd you say something?
And their legal team was like, no, he shot you.
Yeah, like, and it's like the words that you say, like, regardless of if what you mean, like, even if she meant Tory, you got to be so careful with what you're saying online, because everyone's looking for any slip up and to discredit you and to discredit your story. Realistically, the woman got shot. We should all be feeling very sorry for her.
There's also people who don't believe that she got shot.
There's that too,
right?
Where you talk about how many bones are in the foot,
and
she had no bones broken, and there's the most bones are in your feet. So it's like there's so many things that are inconsistent on her side that looks so bad.
The gun residue, nothing on Tory's fingers, like that. To me, it was like, it's not looking good, man.
I feel really bad for her, because no matter what, she's gonna look a certain way. Even if Tory gets found guilty, niggas are gonna be like, oh, so now y'all believe in the judicial system, and you're gonna, you know what I mean? And still discredit her for whatever reason. And same thing on the other side. If Tory wins, women are gonna say the same thing. So it's like it's divisive either way, man.
Yeah, prayers, thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Beautiful gowns. Beautiful gowns.
Let's get into Bel-Air. So obviously, you know, the I guess readaptation or the re-release, whatever you want to call it. Of the new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is out. 5 episodes are out by now. I like it a lot. 6. Oh shit, I didn't watch the 6.
6 dropped on Thursday. Yeah.
Okay. It's a dramatic take on the original, you know, sitcom. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I mean a lot. It's fucking fire.
Way better than Batman.
Not even close, dog. It's not even fucking close. But what do you think about the whole show?
I really enjoyed watching how they decided to weave everyone's stories into modern day.
Okay.
I think Jeffrey being a roadman, low key,
Jeffrey
is probably my favorite part.
Yeah.
Like, but it's getting a bit forced, which I don't like.
What do you mean,
Like he'll throw in a "you get me" or in it, and it's like you didn't need to say it there. You're like,
is the actor actually? Does he actually?
he's a road man. Like he's a London man. Like,
and he's born in Jamaica. Or?
I think his background's Jamaican. Yeah. And
No,
so
it's
like
hard,
it's
though. I
for
like that
modern
spin.
day.
It's
very much, like a really good thing that they would show that on American television, because for so long American TV in terms of British people are just tea and crumpets.
Facts.
Even Jeffrey back in the day on Fresh Prince, tea and crumpets.
Exactly, yeah,
you know what I mean? And it's just like it's an old rhetoric that's not true for most black people, especially Jeffrey being a West Indian man. In the old Fresh Prince, he was from St. Kitts.
But there's a couple episodes where he was in his like island.
Yeah, well, there was a one episode where Hillary wants to be a caterer, and she gets overwhelmed, and he brings her in the closet, and he's like, "Jeffrey don't riz no fool." And I was like, "Yo, Jeffrey's Jamaican, what?" And I had to look into it, but the real guy is from St. Kitts.
Okay.
And so yeah, for them to make it, first of all, Jamaican London man. Way more on point.
Yeah.
It's either you gotta go Jamaican or Nigerian Ghanaian. Like
This is true.
there's no in between. You have to go one of those if you're gonna do modern day.
Right.
And then you have him inserting the roadman rhetoric, no problem in there, and they're understanding it and just going along with it. It was great. Hillary being an influencer, dope.
I love to do Hillary though.
Yeah, Coco Jones she's well overdue for a role like this.
I don't know her, but she looks great. I like her.
Go watch an interview with this girl.
Yeah.
It's insane. Her personality is insane.
I really like it. Like they made it. I mean, no shade to light skins or anything like that, but you know what I mean. Like you have like darker people on camera. It's fire.
And that's one thing Fresh Prince did. This Fresh Prince did that was better than the last one. They learned from their mistakes of light skin Aunt Viv, and they darkened everybody.
Yes.
Uncle Phil, a dark skinned man. Aunt Viv, dark skin again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Jeffrey that guy literally looks like a younger version of old Jeffrey from the show. He literally looks like a younger version.
Yeah,
so
I can see that.
they did a really good job with that. I didn't like Trey,
the
friend that comes from Philly.
You don't like his personality, or you don't like him?
I don't like his acting.
Oh, you thought it was too forced?
It's forced, and half the time his eyes are closed. He seems very nervous. Go watch it. Go watch those 5 and 6.
I feel like those are observations. That
5 and 6, he's sitting down. And, it's probably me, a me thing.
Yeah.
But I'm watching him, and he's talking, and it's like, yeah, man. And he opens his eyes at the end of the sentence, and I'm like, why do you keep doing that?
Oh, that's weird. Was it in the drunk scene?
Especially when he's at the dinner.
Yeah.
And he's talking to Carlton and like snitching basically on what happened.
Oh my God, let's get into Carlton later. But Uncle Phil is my favorite character on the show so far. Second is Jeffrey. But you met fucking Uncle Phil the other day, right?
Yeah. He came to my comedy show, and he filmed my set and put it in his Insta story, and then he saw me afterwards, and I was like, "Yo, you're really funny." I was like, "Nigga, you are Uncle Phil."
Yeah.
So we got a picture, but I didn't know he's a Toronto man.
He actually is.
He's a Toronto man, bro.
That's fire, bro.
He's a Toronto man. He's also, I think, Bayesian. I can't remember what the flags on his pager, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check it out. But no, that's fire. He's my favorite character.
He won, and this is a show how like behind Canadian media is. Canadian Screen Awards are huge awards in Canada for actors, and you never heard about it, right?
I never did.
He won the 2017 Best Actor at Canadian Screen Awards in Canada. He was the best actor in Canada for a year. So, you know what I mean? That's where Canadian media needs to catch up, man. Like, Junos are slowly getting there because our artists are getting doper, but...
Yeah. Oh, should I just beep this?
Yeah.
Niggas are not paying me. I'm going to blur it out. I'm going to blur it out the whole time. But, no, I like the fact that they casted Carlton as a very fucking punchable face. You know, like, I
punchable
don't like...
forehead.
I don't like this nigga. Like, the first scene, hey Will... How are you? Thriving.
Nah, yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey, Will. Hey, Will. I'm thriving. No, he's very annoying, but I like it.
Yeah.
Because what else was Carlton supposed to be in the show? The man's idol is Donald Trump. He's a capitalist. He wants to be in the 1% so bad, and he's clearly a Republican. So it's like, he's gonna be weird in this.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't make him MAGA weird though.
Oh, I mean, but he's close though. That scene in the locker room saying "hot nigga" and then letting the white people.
But he
sing
still has to have that redeemable quality to blackness, because remember when Will brings Carlton to the frat.
Yeah.
And he remembers that he's black all of a sudden, like because of how he's being treated.
Right.
So it's like Carlton's always been, and you gotta credit Fresh Prince for doing this super early, but showing that blackness isn't just one way.
Facts.
Right? And you don't have to be a goon, you don't have to be into rap music. You could be, he's basically Childish Gambino.
No, don't do that to Childish, bro.
A young Childish?
No.
Young Childish Gambino? He's young Donald Glover.
Childish did not have any crazy takes, did he? He did?
Not crazy takes like that would get you like canceled.
Yeah, like political.
Like no, but he's a free thinker.
He just didn't wear deodorant. You know what I mean? Like, that.
Or shoes. Yeah.
Like he was just
Sits cross-legged, Indian style.
I really thought that he was Donald Glover's son for the longest time. Childish Gambino.
Oh my gosh.
I really thought that it was.
That's so funny.
Because the same name, I'm like, yo, it makes sense. I'm like, oh shit.
I'm trying to think of which one I saw first. I think I saw him on Community first. Then I heard of Childish Gambino. I listened to the music and I was like, this guy sounds familiar. And then somebody told me that it was the same person. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Nah, he's sick. And also, like, he'd be talking about, like, his silver spoon in his raps and shit. So I'm like, oh, obviously he has to be the son of, you know what I mean?
Well, like, he grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood. And, yeah, he talks about, it's like the focal point of majority of his 15 mixtapes.
He's Black Logic.
Yeah. No, dead ass. No,
he's
seriously.
Actually black. I just peeped it right now. He's Black Logic.
No, seriously. That's what was the problem with his early music, which is why I stopped listening to it. Yeah. The same exact complaint about Logic.
Yeah.
Every song is too black for the white kids, too white for the black kids. It's like, all right, we get it, man. Every song. Listen to Camp. Same thing.
All right, I'll do that.
And then he got more artistic with, he called himself the son of Kanye.
That's a bit generous. It's a bit generous, bro. I won't touch that. But also, another thing I like, though, is the fact that, I mean, two things. Lisa's thick. I like it. Representation matters. However, she's not touching the original Lisa. That's Nia Long, dog. Come on.
I mean, I feel like they're... okay, you seen that movie... What's the cowboy movie with Idris Elba?
The Harder They Fall?
No. Idris Elba, not that cowboy movie, but the one in Philly where they're still like cowboys in Philly in modern day.
Oh, I didn't see
They have a horse, like it was on Netflix. It was Idris Elba and that black kid from Stranger Things. Can't remember what his name is. It was on Netflix. What'd you say?
Regina King's in there too, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. What is it? Concrete Cowboy. That movie. So in there, they have a love interest, right? And the love interest, she's not an actress. She just works in real life on that ranch or farm shit that they have there in Philly.
Okay.
And they just made her the love interest, right? She's not conventionally what you would think of as the love interest. And I think that they're trying to break that mold.
Okay.
Of you thinking, because think about it this way. When I was a kid, I remember watching 90s sitcoms, and a sexy girl would walk in, and you hear, woo! But how did you know she was sexy?
From that sound.
From the sound, right? And they program you to think, okay, this is what sexy is.
Yeah.
By doing that, now in your mind, every time a girl walks into the room, your mind's doing, woo! Over a certain look of girl.
Let me challenge that. I think that, I mean, as a black man, I've always liked ass, right? So I've always liked hips. I've always liked thick women, right?
Yeah.
Growing up, the whites didn't do that. The whites say, she's fat. Why do you like her? And now how they did that fucking 180, it bothers me so much because I was the fat girl lover, nigga. And you guys are like, ugh. And now it's like, oh, I just love ass. Oh, bro, look at that ass. Like, nigga.
Well, ass is the topic now, right?
I don't like
Back
that, bro.
when you were growing
It's
up,
ours.
titties was the topic.
This is true,
Titties were like the end all be all. You
But
had
to me, it was like they came together. You know what I mean? It was like
Pamela
titties and
Anderson was completely popular because
Not
she
to
had
me.
big titties jumping on the beach or whatever. And so ass wasn't a thing until King Magazine, and it's always a thing in the black community just because black people just love ass, and scientifically you're attracted to curves.
Facts.
So that's why even you'll find women who are completely straight will be like, yo, that girl is bad.
Exactly.
Because your eyes are just attracted to curves. So that's something that you're never gonna be able to help. That's a science. But that other shit, they program you, bro.
100%. I just have to get that out there, you know. So for all you new ass lovers, bro, we've been here. Anyways, get into music. Saba. Did you listen to his album?
I've never listened to Saba in my life.
Saba's album's called. Oh, I didn't write it down. That's how much I didn't like it. I was getting harassed by a lot of people saying, "I can't believe you don't like this album. It's soulful. It's amazing. He's rapping about real shit."
So it's Batman.
I'm gonna give you a hot take. To me, I didn't like it. It's not for me. This type of music is not for me. I felt the same way about
what genre is
Typical
it?
Butterfly. He's Cole-ish, but not like what's that little kid's name that's trying to be just like him? Corday. He's not Corday, but I feel like he'd be in that ilk of like conscious rap. You know what I mean? Slow like jazz, like lo-fi, essentially.
Okay.
But yeah, to me it was kind of like Typical Butterfly in terms of I did not like it. It's not for me. How'd you feel about Typical Butterfly?
I thought To Pimp a Butterfly was great. It's just not something that I'm bumping all the time.
Our first listen, you liked it?
Yeah, really liked it.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought it was very different and artistic in the way that he was approaching it. And like, he's always been that type of guy where it's like, he's very conceptual, right? But
how old were you
I just feel like he's too wordy at times for me.
How old were you when you listened to Typical Butterfly?
I don't fucking know. What year did that come out? What year?
2016, was it?
2016? I was like 28, 27.
Okay.
Yeah. It was. It just felt like it just felt too wordy for me. That's the only other thing. It's like when I listen to music, I'm not trying to super think too hard all the time. I kind of want to just enjoy
what's playing, right?
What's playing, and like if I want to go there, those are for certain times. I'm not someone that's gonna like just deep dive into conscious rap for 2 hours.
Oh, yeah, that's not.
I like the escapism in music. You know what I mean? Like I don't listen to music to. Okay, let me put it this way: if Twitter and social media wasn't so fucking daunting already, it would probably be a lot easier to listen to that type of music. But because everywhere's already being like, you should be like this. This is what's right. You can't do that. It's like listening to somebody say it is annoying. Like when J. Cole's Kids. What was that? Kids on Drugs? What was it?
KOD.
That was what it's called? Kids on Drugs?
I think, right? KOD. I know what album you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Right?
Yeah. Annoying. And I'm not even a kid. And I feel like that was directed to kids that are doing drugs. And I was annoyed as a sober person that's older.
It's so crazy you're saying this on this episode because remember last episode? Yeah. Shout out to Ibu. Shout out to Mr. Activated. He was just defending Cole and being like he's like the greatest rapper.
Cole's amazing. That album was trash. Cole's amazing.
The album was trash?
That album was trash.
I wouldn't call it trash. It wasn't for me, though.
It was trash to me. Because it was just so annoying. So preachy.
Very preachy. I mean, but that's the thing, right?
Felt like an extended after-school program.
Oh, I say that. I've been saying that for years. Literally, all the preachy shit. I'm like, oh, it's so cringy to me. I'm not going to give my take. But also just people that just, the black people. The black people, that's crazy. The black people. I'm just saying, like, like preaching about, no, we have to do this. This is positivity. We got to do, as people, we got to lift yourself up. We got to do this. Like, nigga. Like, yo, like, chill out. You know what I mean?
I feel like there's just other ways of doing that.
It just feels very after school special of, like, this is how you do it. You know what I mean? It's like, dog, chill out. And at the same time, they're always bashing the other side of people that are just not there yet mentally. Like, oh, you gonna die, nigga. You need to be doing this. Like, it's like.
But that's why I feel like a show like Euphoria is so monumental because like you don't have somewhere. It doesn't feel like preachy in telling you drugs are bad.
It's showing you.
It's showing you.
This is what's gonna happen.
Drugs are bad. Like this is what's gonna happen.
You're gonna be drooling in front of a jolly.
Yeah, this is not. It's not the life you think it is. Like when you do it, especially for those who are curious and haven't done drugs. This is what you look like on the outside. Inside, it could be, when Ruse, the house is spinning and all this shit. Cool.
It's not cool.
But this is what you look like on the outside. Yeah. And this is how people on the outside of you see you and feel about you. Mm-hmm. And so do you want to be that person? I feel like it does a way better job at doing that than an album for 40 minutes for somebody's telling me stop doing drugs.
Good take. I want to get a little bit deeper into Euphoria, but I'll get into that the next episode. Okay. But okay, so we're good on Saba. Let's get into Jazz Cartier. He released an album, I believe it was called
Fleur Print, Volume 2.
The Jazz Print.
Jazz Print?
The Jazz Print
Is it
Volume 2.
I thought it was Fleur Print for Volume 2.
I could be wrong. I'll check it when the episode goes up. Anyway, yeah,
Could be
he put it
Jazz
out.
Print,
Yeah, he put it out. I liked it a lot.
I loved it.
I'll first listen, I'm like, okay, it's cool. Sometimes it feels kind of empty, but on second listen, I'm like, okay, nah, Jazz is in his bag.
No.
And I like it.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like he lost me on Forever. I just wasn't. I don't know. I wasn't.
Look that one up. Forever came out when?
A couple of years ago, I think.
Forever. You remember any tracks?
But it was
off
like
that
one of his first like major albums. After doing festivals and shit like that. And I just wasn't.
Yeah, he
I
lost
wasn't
me with
feeling
that
that sound. I don't know what sound he was chasing or like trying to attempt, but it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Because I like Jazz just in his rapping bag, on his braggadocious shit. Like, and I know Jazz in real life. That's just who he is. Like, he's a very quiet person.
But he'll let you know, nigga.
But he'll let you know. He has
He'll
no
let
problem
you
letting
know.
you know, especially if he's wavy, if he's in the party and he's feeling himself.
Yeah.
He'll let you know. Jazz was the guy that used to be. I remember being at a party with Jazz, and he jumped off the stairwell into a crowd of people at the party, and they crowd surfed him just automatically.
At the party?
Just at a party.
This thing is ill, bro.
Like
This
with
nigga
a
ill,
bottle in his hand, like just going crazy. And like,
but you know, that's also petite privilege, though. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Like,
he's a shorter guy for sure.
Big niggas cannot do that.
But like
No
in
matter
real
how much they
life,
love
he's
you.
super like mellow, very chill
yeah,
guy, very calm. And like I remember when he played me Dead or Alive, we're shooting we're making like this short film in Kensington, me and a couple of my boys. And they're all like living in the same house. There's a bunch of creatives. They're all like killing shit right now. I think it was like Trey Mission, Isaiah Blake, Jordan Oram, just a whole bunch of different people, all in like one area.
Yeah.
And we're at the house, and Jazz is like, "Yo, tell me what you think about this." And he played Dead or Alive. And I
What year
was
was it?
like,
It's 20 'cause it
it's
came
like
out 2016.
2014, 2015.
What a
And I was
time.
like, yo, what the fuck? I was like, hold on, is other people in Toronto making this type of sound? Like,
No.
and it was like his own sound. He didn't sound like anybody,
Exactly.
which I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he did music. So it was like, it was tripping me out.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, like he just went on a run, and there was Marauding in Paradise. That album
God,
was
yeah.
incredible. And then he just
So-
took off,
so
and then,
Toronto,
but then
dog.
Forever, it felt too Travis Scotty.
Yeah. What do you think about Hotel Paranoia though? That was right before Forever.
Can't remember which tracks are on there. I'd have to listen to it again.
Hotel Paranoia had
This
100
one, though?
Roses, like
Oh yeah, no, that was fire. Come on, that was fire.
Super
Red Alert
fire.
was crazy. Red Alert was a track.
Stick and Move. Oh my
Stick
God.
and Move. That was my track.
Man, yo,
That was one of those tracks I prayed came on in a Toronto club, but it wasn't at the time when they were running Toronto music like that.
Jazz Cartier is so important to the city, man.
He's really dope, man. He's
You
really
need to
dope.
you need to tell him to come on the show, bro.
He has he has exactly the type of career that I feel like people should aspire for.
Is that
Him,
what I just said? That's crazy.
Amine,
That's nuts.
no, Jack Harlow's gone now.
This nigga's not even acknowledging anything. I'm just saying that's crazy.
But there's like a lot of
He's
different
still
guys.
doing it. Yo, what's wrong with this nigga? Dog?
What?
I said he should have Jazz Cartier on the show.
Oh, he's coming, don't worry. I'll ask him for sure. I don't even know if he lives in Toronto right now. But yeah, no, they have the perfect, I think, level of celebrity.
Yeah, and like you said, you know, his own sound, right? It was never like, oh, he's trying to do this, trying to do that. And like I remember, I think the first time I saw him, I was in line to go into Danforth Music Hall, and then it was a nigga just with this Paradise shirt, lifting, just showing his abs to the crowd. I'm like, yo, what's this nigga doing? Who's this guy? And he had like curlers in his hair.
Yeah.
Like a colorful
curlers, yeah.
And women are looking at him like,
I think I was there that night.
I'm like, yo, who, like, it's
Whose
daytime.
concert was it?
I don't remember. It could have been Travis.
I feel like it was Daniel Caesar I saw him at.
Oh, this is,
there.
I'm talking about years, maybe like 2014, 2015 or 16.
Oh.
But yeah, he's literally just like walking around, lifting his shirt up, has curls in it. I'm like, who is this nigga? Right?
Who is this nigga?
Literally. But like people were already like kind of like, you know, whispering about him. Like I can tell this guy just has charisma, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, I heard Dead or Alive and shit. I'm like, oh, yeah.
He's a showman, man. Like
Dog.
if you watch his live performance,
Yeah.
absolutely insane.
Oh man,
His energy is stupid.
it's definitely. And it's
Travis Scott level.
Scott-esque. I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Travis Scott, and he's genuine about it. He's not just doing it because Travis is doing it.
Yeah, no,
that's him.
That's always
Like,
been him.
You could feel
always
it too,
been him.
You know? So, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm just shout out to Jazz, man. Shout out to Jazz. I think we're good on music. It's safe to say we like the project a lot.
Yeah, I love this project. He's back to like rapping and just in his bag. You know what I mean? And like that's the type of jazz I enjoy listening to.
Perfect. Now, so I want to shift a little bit. Shift gears a little bit. I want to get into some questions I have for you. Right. So we mentioned it earlier, and I talked to you if you started or if you would ever work in corporate.
Yeah.
You said no because I couldn't work for anybody else, right?
No.
So how did you get started? How did you figure out that I can't work for other people? I need to do shit by myself.
It's a lot of jobs, man. I can't count on one hand or two hands how many jobs I had since high school. And they're all just so fleeting and just boring. And I think it was I was doing this dishwashing job.
I remember the vlogs.
Yeah, I was doing a dishwashing job, and I went on break to get some food, and like 4 different people stopped me for pictures, and I was just like, I'm in my work uniform. I'm just like, what am I doing? Like, this is crazy. Yeah. So I went home, and I snuck out. I left my uniform there, and I snuck out the back. I don't know what they did that night, but God bless them. Yeah. And I went home and just made a video like every day, sometimes twice a day for like a month, and I made my rent. And I was like, okay, I can do this. No problem. A video every day, I can do that. Yeah. And I just built from there. And yeah, over time, I noticed that if I could put out there and make it very well known the things that I like, I could transform that into something that made me money eventually down the line.
But even before that, like, you're still skipping stuff, right? Because you're washing dishes. People are coming to take pictures of you. You've been doing YouTube for how long in that time?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah. I've been doing YouTube for 3 years at that point, but like not taking it seriously. It was just like
But you definitely had like peaks though in that moment, right?
Well, like I did the shit Toronto people say and shit Jamaican people say in the same week. I did those like in the same 3 days apart, I think, and then it wasn't like a planned thing. It was more like me and Slinky went to the same school. I had stopped going to school there, and he's like, yo, where you at? I'm like, yo, dog, I'm off that. Honestly, I can't.
Was high school or college or what?
Seneca College. Shout out Seneca. And I took the camera. God bless. I took the DSLR camera that I was renting, and I just cut. And because when I was renting, I was doing a media course there, so you could rent out cameras.
Right.
And I noticed that if it was a 2-day rental, so if I rented on Thursday, I can keep it the whole weekend, bring it back Monday. And so I was doing that. My boy, we were trying to get these girls' attention, and we didn't know how to do it. They lived in LA. They had way too many followers on Twitter. So we're like, yo, let's just make...
Who are these guys?
As these 2 girls, God, I can't even remember their names now.
Don't do that. You know,
Brittany and Andrea's Choice. That was their names. They were makeup girls.
Wasn't she dating?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're gonna say.
They had a big, Tumblr story.
Big Tumblr story.
You know.
Yeah. So we were trying to get their attention. They're twins. They're gorgeous.
Oh, so you and your boy were trying to?
Me and Lath were trying to get their attention. My boy Lath, and we didn't know how. Yeah. And at that time on YouTube, if like, say, for example, you had a YouTube channel and you had 200,000 subscribers. If you commented on somebody else's YouTube video, it would show up first thing on their homepage. And they would be like, oh, what's my favorite YouTuber commenting on? Go do it. And they'd be able to watch the video, comment as well, all that stuff.
So YouTube to bring that back.
Trust me, there's a lot of things back then. So basically, they made a video that was saying, put on makeup the worst way possible. Right?
Okay.
And they did it themselves. They put on makeup horrible. And back then, when you did a video, there was these things called reaction videos. So you could click reaction, and it would put all the reaction videos under that video. So anybody who made a video based on your video would be under there,
It's
and the latest one would show, or the most viewed ones would show in order. And so I was like, yo, if we do this, we're gonna be the only guys under that tab.
Yeah.
There's gonna be all girls and just us two guys.
Smart guy.
So let's just get their attention that way. And we called these two girls over, told them bring as much makeup as you can. And I put the camera down. I think I put it in focus, and we just put on makeup horribly for like half an hour.
Yeah.
I got on my computer, got on iMovie, was YouTube tutorialing how to work it or whatever. Put up the video. Within 2 days, it has 150,000. I'm like, what the heck's going on? I'm like, wait. And girls are going crazy underneath, like, because the majority of their fan base is women. So I'm getting thousands of subscribers. We're getting mad girls. My boy Lath is very good looking. So girls are fucking losing their minds over this guy.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yo, we got to make another video. And at this time, we were like chilling in my boy's basement for probably like 3 weeks, just making videos. Like, we made this video called Masturbation Next. And it was all about masturbating. It was like different scenarios.
Masturbation Next?
It was called Masturbation.
Okay.
That was the next video.
Okay.
And we were basically doing a whole bunch of different little skits about masturbation. And that ended up on World Star. And that got me even more followers. So I'm like, yo, this is crazy. You make a video and this shit just goes everywhere. That's my thinking. Like, I'm thinking this happens to just everyone that makes videos. So then I'm just doing it for fun at that point. Like, you're going on road or you're going to parties and random are like, yo, dog, that video killing me.
Yeah.
So I'm like feeling that. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Didn't know it was a business at that point. Didn't know I could make money. None of that. Did that for probably 2 years. And YouTube sent me multiple emails. Just kept emailing me for partnership. I'm like, what the hell is partnership? What does this mean? Yeah. And so I looked into it, and it was like, oh, you got to put in this pin, and you could become a partner with YouTube. I'm like, people will think that's cool. I should do it. So I did it, not knowing about the monetization or anything like that. And I that week, I was going to Miami, and something happened where I had to spend a lot of money. I don't remember what happened, but majority of my money was gone. I already had booked the ticket, everything. So I'm like, fuck, I'm going to Miami, nothing. Get to Miami, I get an email when we land that the pin has been accepted or whatever. So I go in there, I'm like, okay, cool, let me see. Oh, analytics, that's cool. Yeah. I see $1,100. So I'm like, what does that mean? What is it? I was like, I don't get what that means right now. And then I see AdSense and like, oh, you gotta fill out your AdSense information. It's asking for bank account. I'm like, am I getting this money? I got the $1,100, had the greatest week in Miami ever. Oh. And I still didn't take it seriously. And yeah, we did the shit Toronto people say video, shit Jamaican say people video. And because not taking it seriously, if you notice at the start of the video, it's Cardinal, Old Time Killin'. And there's another Jamaican song. I think it was a Beanie Man song that I put on shit Jamaican people say. And so copyright. Yeah. And so my biggest videos, no funds. No funds whatsoever. And this is before like YouTube would email you and be like, oh, you have a copyright strike. You should probably delete the music. None of that. Fuck. And so I'm still not knowing how much you can really get out of this. I'm still like, whatever.
Kind of doing it on a whim, right?
Just doing it on a whim. And then, yeah, once that happened with the dishwasher and taking pictures thing, and I started making videos consistently, I saw how much money I could possibly make, and I was just like, oh, but I get it now.
That's so. I mean, that's your calling, right? Because if you're doing this kind of willy nilly. And then I
was one of the first people doing this, so there was nobody to really. I could be like, oh, I can hit up this person. Like, I didn't know who to talk to. There's nobody, and even anybody that I did talk to was just like, I don't know. I don't know how YouTube works or any of that.
So new back then, right? So you didn't know. How were you in contact with the 4Y'all guys back then?
So I made shit Jamaican people say because I saw their video.
The Wayne Perkle shit, right?
Yeah. And I was just like, yo, who are these American youths, dog? Their accent is trash. And I was going off on Twitter, right? And I called up Slinky. I'm like, dog, we got to make a real Jamaican one for the Mandem, dog. And he's like, all right, cool. He came over and we just, that's just how me and Slinky worked, which is weird. It's like, he showed up to my house and be like, all right, let's go in the living room. What can we do in here? All right, think of a scenario. And then we think of how we can say the most Jamaican stuff in each scenario or whatever.
That's so that's like some Roy and Mal shit. Like low key, that's how they do their skits now too, and they're fire.
I don't doubt it, man. There's something about that spontaneous, just off the whim stuff without preparation. There's a little bit of magic there, and with the shit people say trend in general, it was so huge at the time. It was like if you made a decent enough video, it was gonna take off.
So you started out with Slinky, Senior Gunboy as well. And somebody else, no?
Senior Gunboy, he came in a video like probably 2 or 3 years in, Okay. It was mostly me, Slinky, Femi, Lath sometimes, my boy TJ sometimes, Shannon Boudram, Latoya forever. Like those are the OGs.
You guys still talk? Have you guys still?
Yeah, those are the OGs. Like Shannon's doing amazing right now.
She does have her own like channel.
Yeah,
the whole thing on her network, right?
Yeah, she's killing it. She has her podcast, which is doing really well, and she's also, she has an episode on the show every season. It's a show where they can't have sex. Too Hot to Handle.
She's on there?
She has an episode every season where like she teaches mindfulness over your vagina.
I'm working for everything, man.
Right? So a lot of those guys, they're doing well right now too.
So I mean, it sounds like everyone who's kind of doing shit back then is super successful and doing great now, right?
Yeah.
Do you think there's anything holding Toronto creators back?
Collaboration. I think collaboration and pride, man. Like, just reach out. You know what I mean? Like, thinking everybody's competition instead of possible helping hand is, I think, what's holding us back. When you look at the UK and what they're able to do in the black media scene.
Shout out Nella Rose, bro.
Nella Rose, Chunks, Philly, all those guys are killing it. They work together so often.
I didn't even think about it.
It's like that's how they continue to grow a pool and network of fans, because it's like they're building a universe. And Toronto doesn't have a universe outside of gun politics. So it's like when you don't have a universe of creatives, which we're like starting to build, you know what I mean? Like you have Jordan Oram, who shot that Chris Rock Saw movie. He's done amazing things. He's also shot God's Plan video. And just amazing things he's doing. You have the Next Stop series, which just came out on CBC Gems, which is all black, mostly Jamaican and Caribbean descent kids who put together a series and is on CBC now. Like there's so many different things happening. They just need to come together. Like, you know what I think we need? Like an award show.
100%.
I think that's what we're missing. 100%. If we have an award show,
but politics though,
it'll become a community.
But politics
my ass, I don't care. Just I'll do it. Like if I had the money, I would do it already. But to do it properly, like you have in the UK, you have mobile awards. You have the Rated Awards, which are specifically black talent.
Shit.
You know what I mean?
We're
like
way behind.
Way behind, bro. But in terms of migration, like African and Jamaican immigrants were over there in the 50s and 60s. For us, 70s and 80s for the most part, migration. And even in the 70s, it was just our moms, our aunts, our grandmas. Like no mans were up here. So it's like they had to work super hard. My mom was a Molly maid when she first came here.
Shit.
And so many different Jamaican women were like domestic work and had to grind to get their family to come up eventually. So it's like we're slowly catching up.
Yeah. Have you tried or have you had any kind of pushback when you try to connect people in terms of collaborations or anything like that?
I mean, there's some times where it's like, I don't part that you, or I don't know those guys, or they live in these ends, I don't know. And I'm just like, stay mediocre. I mean, it's your choice, man.
It is what it is, man. So you pivoted to stand up. When did you start doing that?
I started doing stand up consistently in 2019. right before the pandemic, which was just crazy. And I had thrown my first comedy show in October 2019. Or no, 2019. And by the time 2020 hit, the day of the first ever emergency lockdown, where they were like, yeah, everything's closed.
March 12th.
March 12th.
March 12th, yeah.
Yeah, I had my first headlining show scheduled.
Wow.
3 hours after they they called emergency lockdown, and everyone's like, oh, people were telling me for days, oh, I don't know if your show's gonna happen. I'm like, they're not locking down the city. Are you crazy? That's never happened. Lo and behold, 3 o'clock, yeah, everything lock off. And I was just like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I also was like, relieved. Because, yo, that shit is scary, man.
100%.
It's terrifying.
Okay, so the lockdown hit. You're no longer able to practice. How are you getting better?
Still practiced.
How?
I just kept writing, man. Any situation. I don't know what my writing method is. I just know when an idea comes to my mind, I just write it down.
Write it down? Okay.
And that's just been with everything. But so with stand-up, it's very helpful because a lot of times stand-up comedians will have jokes in their mind or jokes they said out loud to somebody and they won't write it down. They'll forget about it.
Yeah.
Whereas with me, I'm constantly thinking any idea, write it down. Any idea. So, yeah, I have like over 100 different jokes that I wrote during the pandemic.
So what clubs do you perform at?
Any club, really. I'm not a fan of the virtual stand-ups where like it's on Zoom and shit like that.
But that was the case. That was the only thing that people could do. A lot of comedians, right? Like, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and in New York especially, a lot of guys are doing like virtual shows.
I got asked all pandemic, bro. I'm like, no, I'm not telling jokes for LOL on the screen or emojis.
Or laughing on mute. Like, dog.
Laughing on mute is gross, man. That feels depressing. So
yeah, but I feel like laughing on unmute on Clubhouse is still nasty though. Like,
it's all nasty.
like unmuting just to laugh.
Laughing and I can't see you, nasty.
Yeah,
It's nasty work. Like,
Yo, one mic. I'm so sick of that.
bro,
So sick of it.
that shit's so annoying. So it's like, yeah, no, I need to feel the energy of the crowd.
Yeah.
Especially to calm me down. Like, usually with my jokes, I go out there and I have a joke right off top. So if I get that laugh, everything in my body just slows down. I'm just like, all right, I can do this.
Talk to me about the worst set you've ever had.
Worst set I've ever had. I mean, worst set I've ever had, I told this joke about, I think it was nudes. It was about nudes, and a girl sent me, a pussy voice note. But, like, I hadn't introduced myself properly to the crowd. I don't think that mattered. So they didn't really catch my vibe. So it's like, with stand-up, if I had gone in there and introduced myself properly, given a little background, and maybe said something that would make them like me, that joke would have went way better. Yeah. And those are the, like, little tweaks and scientific little things in stand-up that people probably, I don't know if they can pay attention to. But it's like
shit like word economy, it's very important. Like, yeah,
the joke was great.
Yeah.
I know the joke was good, right? But if you don't know me and I'm just talking about pussy voice notes, it's like a little alarming and disarming, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I talked about that, and then halfway through, I was like, all right, so you guys don't like dick and pussy. That's cool. That's fine. My time's Marlon. I got out of here. And that was probably my worst.
You left the set early?
Yeah, definitely.
How much time did you have left?
I mean, I told a one joke that I knew is like my safe joke. I know this is gonna work, and I got laughs from there. And I was like, I'll leave here. Thank you. I'll leave on a high note. Thank you guys.
All right.
Yeah.
So, was that the only set that you've ever bombed, or is that like?
Yeah.
You only bombed once?
Yeah.
Lucky guy, dog.
yeah.
Dog, there's comedians that bomb every day. Akash Singh was talking about he's bombed for 3 years straight.
Yeah. I mean, I see it. I see some guys go up there and like, wow, that's okay, cool, and you're fine with that. They're like the most confident in the room, which is super weird.
They, I mean, you know the vernacular is like they eat a dick on stage, shit like that. You know, like,
Yeah.
it's a little wild for black community to be like, you did what on stage, nigga? Like,
I feel like if you're just innately a funny person, and I've been lucky enough to like I've been emceeing events and hosting events for
and you do
years.
YouTube as well, like it's
It's like I have so much experience being on stage that it's very hard for me to bomb per se. Like a bomb for me is just not getting the laughs I wanted.
Facts.
I'm always gonna get laughs, like that's a given. But the laughs I want to hear, like people, I'll get off the stage and people are like, "Yo, you did well," and I'll be like, "Yeah."
yeah.
Because I'm like, I know what I do well. And I know the reaction of people when I do well. When I come off stage and I'm walking to the back and people are reaching out, bro, yo. And they're coming to see you after like, bro, that joke you told about fucking the white people and fuck, yo. That's when I know I'm like, yeah, I bodied that tonight.
Yeah.
But when I'm looking for the exit or when I'm standing there and I'm on my phone.
Your ears are getting hot.
And everyone's just walking past you. Ooh. It's going home.
Yeah.
It's like, whoo.
Or worse, you get a sympathy comment like, "You did good. I thought it was good."
If you get just one of those, horrible night. Horrible night, because that person's a really good person. They want you to feel good. They don't want you to feel bad about the night.
Damn.
But yeah, no, especially if comics, like that's my biggest thing. My peers, I love the audience and viewers that come to the shows and stuff.
Yeah.
But when comedians stop me and be like, "Bro, that joke you told about this and this," because that's realistically who I'm there to impress.
Facts.
I'm not there to impress the crowd per se. I'm there to impress
Other
these
comics,
guys that I look up to.
For them to be like, "Fuck, I didn't think about that," right?
That's what I want.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I want them to be like, you know, when you go to a different ball court and nobody knows you at?
It's me every court.
I used to go to ball courts when I was younger and lie about my age
That's crazy.
just to see how niggas would react. So I'd be
you-
like 17.
Yeah.
And because I was so maga, I was super short, I was lanky, skinny, and I had a baby face, never grew a beard ever. Kids be like, yo, I'd be playing and I'm playing nice and like, yo, dog, how old are you? I'm like, 14. I'm like, yo, this guy's going to the league. Like I would do that. So I'm constantly in that mind frame of like, make people think you're better than where you're supposed to be at in their minds. If they think you're supposed to be here, go here, because that's gonna make them think you're like
Something else. Like an
something
alien.
else.
Yeah.
And you want to be scary. Like I want to go on stage and comedians like, fuck,
Like you
I
don't
have to
follow
go
you.
up after that. Like fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I want for the night, and I want people to remember me more than anybody else for the rest of the night. So it's like I go into it with that basketball. I can't shake the basketball mindset.
Got you. All right, let's get into listener questions, right? So listener questions are really just questions that people sent in either via text, DM, whatever you want to send it. They kind of send it to me, and they know you're going to be on, so it's just specific for you, dog.
Okay.
First one. Do you know women were lining up outside a Future Shop to see you clock in?
First of all, Future Shop, don't date me like that, please. That's fucking crazy. Future Shop closed like 98. Don't do that to me.
Don't kill me.
I worked at the Source, yeah, and yeah, that's why I lost my job. So yeah, I do remember.
Damn.
I literally lost my job for taking too many pictures with people.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People would like, there's, you know, at Eaton Center where the Source is in like that corner part of the mall. You know where they're near the subway?
I barely go
Like
to
this
the
is,
center.
yeah. And there's this corner where the Source is, and like above it are the escalators for all 3 floors.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'd be on like the 2nd or 3rd floor, and I'd see them because I'm standing at the front of the store to greet people.
Yeah.
And they're zooming in on me, and I'd see it on Twitter like 10 seconds later, and I'm just like, this is crazy, bro.
That's nuts.
And this is like right after shit Toronto people say, shit Jamaican people
course.
say, so shit's at like a fever pitch.
Yeah. At that point, you're like a celebrity, right?
I
Or you
mean,
feel like it.
it felt like it.
Yeah.
Like I knew if I wore that jacket I wore in the video, I'm getting stopped nonstop. Like, and I do that sometimes on days I was feeling low. I'm like,
Stop. It's
go
me,
outside
guys. It's
real
me.
quick. Hello.
Don't kill me, dog. All right. So second question is: would you consider yourself a Toronto legend?
Not yet. I think I'm working towards it. I think I'm on the path for sure. I don't think I'm there yet by any means.
What do you think you need to get there?
I need to be one of the biggest stand-up comedians in the world. Like, I feel like that's where I need to get to. I don't think we have, other than Russell Peters, a guy that we could look at in that realm.
Sphere? Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, I want to be that guy. Yeah.
Got you.
For our generation, it is definitely, bro.
Oh, you're a legend. Yeah, you're a legend to
I mean, I appreciate
Today's
it,
born
man.
in like
I
between like
appreciate it,
say 92 to like 96.
bro. That's crazy.
Past 96, yeah.
That's crazy to think about.
Tuesdays and all those things.
I see on Tuesdays. That was a problem. We're not gonna talk about that. What does Rihanna smell like?
World peace.
World peace.
World peace. She smells like Sunday mornings in a West Indian home. She smells like victory, man. I don't know.
Like
Like,
victory is crazy.
she smells amazing, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's like a thing with her. I noticed that people like point out, like,
Really?
she smells crazy good.
That's such a good impression to leave on people, eh?
She smells like the cleanest human being of all time.
Wow.
Her aura too, right?
It's crazy, bro. This guy said her aura.
You can smell her aura. What's this nigga on, man?
He likes horoscopes. Oh.
Don't kill me. What was your biggest industry moment?
Biggest industry moment. I have no idea. What do you consider an industry moment?
That person just asked the question.
You walk in, you're like, oh shit, I'm in the industry now.
Yeah. Or like it's like, oh shit, like I'm really in this media shit.
I don't know. There's been so many different. I don't know. Like, meeting people and them knowing who you are, that's kind of been cool. Like, Kalani knowing who I was and us,
shit.
like, getting a little friendship. And then she invited me out to listen to her album before she put it. The what's the latest album that came out?
The one where she's over the fence?
Yeah, Over the Fence. I can't. Why do I always forget this album's name?
It's like 3 words, isn't it?
It's amazing. It's a classic, too. Like, especially for her catalog. Hold on, let me find it.
I think it's like 3 words, no?
It's called It Was Good Until It Wasn't.
Damn.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, she had invited me into the studio when she was in Toronto. She's about to do some work with Boy Wonder. And we listened to the album together. And, like, she's like, I invited you because, like, I fuck with your music opinions on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, you know music. And I'm just like, oh, shit. Like,
serious.
I mean, I just be tweeting about music I like. Like, I don't know, like, what it is or whatever.
Yeah.
So she wanted my opinion on certain songs, and we were there for like a couple hours, just like, take this out, put this in, you should do this for album cover. Like, we just got so in depth with it, and it was dope, man. It was one of those moments where it's like, okay, you're doing something right. Like, people are having you in the room for ideas.
Facts.
Like, that's pretty cool. And then there was I wrote on the first season of this show that aired in the UK called Max. I don't know if you watch Handmaid's Tale.
No.
There's this light-skinned guy that's in Handmaid's Tale. He's like one of the stars of that show.
Oh shit! There was a whole fiasco about him not wanting to come back. He's not getting paid.
I think so, something like that. Yeah. And yeah, he was the main star of this, and somebody had told him about my videos, and he checked them out, and we were in the same building at the same time, and so the person's like, "Yo, he's downstairs if you want to go talk to him."
Shit.
And I was doing a table read for another show, and he came in, and it was just basically like, yo, I want you to come in on the writing sessions. We meet here at this hotel every whatever. And yeah, writing on that show with like other Canadian like actors, and comedians and stuff like that. It was really, really dope. Like,
Okay, we're back from a little break. Things almost went left.
yeah, diarrhea. That's crazy. I'm all got it fixed, man.
This guy. Now you were talking about how you linked up with the guy from Handmaid's Tale. You guys met up in the lobby, and
Yeah, we wrote for a show called Max, that aired on BBC, I think Channel 4 in the UK. BBC4. This is my first time writing on a show, period.
Damn.
So, like, just that whole experience was, like, a great learning experience for when I want to write a pilot for a show and everything like that. So it was great to see it actually get picked up, which is just rare.
And you got on there with no writing credit before?
No.
How'd you get to...
He was in the same building as me. Somebody had told him about me at that time, and they were checking out my videos upstairs, and I was downstairs doing a table read for another show. And they're like, yo, he's downstairs if you want to talk to him. And they brought him down, and we chatted for like 5 minutes. He was just like, yeah, I want to bring you in on the writing team. And the writing team was like all people who have written, who have done plays. I recognized some dudes from TV shows. I was like, this is crazy. And it was just like we'd meet in this hotel lobby room, and he'd like set up like 3 different cameras. He'd have 2 different like listening devices set up, and then he had a person on a laptop just taking notes about everything everyone said. And every idea was taken down, and we'd act out. So like we'd say, this is what our idea for this character is, and where this scene should go, and then we'd act it out. And while we're acting out, we're deconstructing it.
Were you nervous at all during this whole process?
No. I at the end of the day, it was like, I'm like, it's about being funny. Like, it's not, there's nobody, especially when there's not an audience.
So no imposter syndrome at all? Being like, yo, am I supposed to be in this room, dog?
You know what it was? I felt like that at the start. And then with the more ideas I presented, that they were like, oh. And I'd hear that, I'd be like,
oh, you niggas don't know. Yeah. I got
Yeah. And every day it was like that. I was just like, it kept solidifying like my stake in this community, you know what I mean? And so I was grateful for that moment to happen, because especially around that time, I remember a little bit before that, I was like, am I funny? Like how, like things were dying down in terms of views for a little bit. And I wasn't noticing it was my inconsistency, not my jokes. So I was focusing on my jokes more than the inconsistency, because I was just lazy at that point. I just didn't want to. It just felt like I was making so many videos. Like at that point, I had like 500 plus videos on YouTube. And I'm just like, yo, I'm fatigued. Like, honestly, this is like a lot. Yeah. And the views are going down. So I'm like, am I funny? Like, is this like a thing that's happening for me? Am I getting funnier? Yeah. My thing is, I felt like I had plateaued. And I was like focusing too much on the same type of jokes to get the views and the laughs. And I never wanted to be that person. Like, I never wanted to be niche. I hate that. It's very limiting. I feel like I'm not allowed to do anything else if people think I'm just this.
Yeah, and that's the thing that everyone pitches you. Is like, if you want to start a business, you
gotta be niche. Gotta be niche.
Find your niche. Tap into it. 2022 in a niche. Niggas say shit like that. It's so weird, right? But anyway,
that's slave shit to me, bro.
It's slave shit, right?
It's slave shit to me. It's no different from. It's no different from corporate, bro. Like, it's really no different from anything corporate. Like, at the end of the day, now I'm working for somebody. If I'm niche,
you're a slave.
I'm a slave. I'm a slave to the niche. I'm a slave to whoever thinks that I should be making. Like, you ever watch, and I do it too. I'm guilty of it too. I'll see somebody make something on TikTok, and I'll be like, oh, let me go to their page. They probably got 20 more. And they don't. And I'll be like,
they're not funny.
Back to the timeline. Yeah. And I get it. Like, for certain people, niches are necessary. For me, I can't be put in a box like that. I have too many ideas about too many things that I want to do. And there's too many lanes that I feel like I could be successful in. Gotcha. And to limit myself is like a disservice to my soul. Like, it feels bad, man.
You're preaching to the choir, bro. So last question, our listener's question is, have you ever had an Have you ever had an ex date a famous rapper? If yes, do you still listen to their music?
No, I don't think so.
Would have been good if you did though, eh?
I had an ex that worked with an artist, but like, I don't know if they dated.
You didn't ask?
No, I don't talk to exes like that.
No, I'm sorry. So it happened after you guys split.
Well, yeah, you said exes, right?
Right. No, I mean, I guess the question was more so like,
if they're before?
Yes.
Oh no, I've never. No.
Would you? If you
I have no problem with that. I don't care about like previous niggas. Like that doesn't mean anything to me.
Me neither.
I mean, it means any. You know when I care about it? When I want to do something good.
What do you mean?
I find out what they do bad.
Wait, say that again.
Find out what the exes do bad, so then you can do good.
Oh, that's evil, petty, mad scientist.
It's not even evil petty. It's more so just like, okay, she's complaining about this. She hated this in that relationship. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that same thing. So it's like, that's probably the only time I'll indulge in a conversation about exes. Is like, oh, he did this. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Okay, so let's say your girl now, she tells you, you know what, I actually dated Drake.
Cool.
Nothing, no
I
cares.
really don't care. I remember a girl I had sex with told me and Drake had the same dick, and I was like, thank you for that. Really appreciate it. That's very useful information for me. Like what? And then I never talked to her again. Like that is that kind of stuff.
It's very strange.
Nasty. It's
But
filthy
at the same time,
things.
you gotta be like, I'm Drizzy.
Like what am I supposed to do after that? Am I supposed to walk around like this? Like what do I do at that point?
Singing the Drake song's a little louder. You know? What
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I know what he's saying. I know what he's talking about. Like,
She did start at the bottom. So
comedian, everyone, comedian. All right, bro. We're gonna get to the last segment of the show. It's called Silly Shit. It's a thought. It's anything that kind of, it's a little left field. I want to find out about the guest. So before we actually do the segment, we do a shot. Right. So go ahead, clink glasses. All right. Silly Shit question is: who are your 3 greatest porn stars of all time?
It's tough. Let me cross my legs. Jada Fire.
Okay.
Jada Fire is one. Shit. I'm trying to remember porn star names.
Yeah.
Definitely not Sarah J.
She looks like a nigga named Uncle Tony.
She looks like Jeremy Roenick. Like I don't know if you remember who Jeremy Roenick is.
From where?
From the Phoenix Coyotes. Nigga's a hockey player. Yo, that nigga was she's beat. Fuck. What are porn star names?
Yeah, it's tough. You have to
It's
think about
tough.
the classic
Duval?
Wait.
Lucy Duval? Lucy Duval, I think her name was.
I don't know that
Oh, let's Google this.
Yeah.
Lacey Duval, I think. Lacey Duval.
Who, me? Respect me, bro.
Yep. Lacey Duval.
Okay.
Is her. Back in the day. She's And I don't fucking know, man. I don't memorize porn star names like that.
Me neither. That's fucking weird.
I don't even watch porn stars.
I don't watch porn.
I don't watch
all, bro.
Oh, God bless.
Thank you.
I'm not on that train.
Nah,
It's got a 7-day Adventist. That's crazy.
The older you get, the less you watch it. You don't have that much time for it.
Yeah, no, it's the
As
older
a
I
kid,
get,
though, you
the,
watch it way more because tits,
Yeah.
ass, everything.
yeah, for sure. But I've always been an amateur person.
Dog.
Come on, I don't know if I should, but yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Amateur. Like I need my jacket, the camera under a jacket. It's like in the
Flashback to
corner of the
episode-
room.
Was it episode 39? Where it's talking about the amateur shit with Frank, and we just bonded at that moment. Shout out to Frank. Yeah.
Amateur porn, like if she's moaning, I'm like, okay, this is real moaning.
Dog,
Like if she's coming, this is real coming. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like not that
Production
theatrical.
shit. Oh.
Yeah. And plus, you know what scarred me? I watched the behind the scenes on a porno,
no.
and the man they're digging out. Joyce said, "Cut." She's like, oh, can I get a cigarette? I was like, ugh, that's nasty.
Yeah, it's so fake.
I'm
dog.
like, how did you just turn it off like that? The penis still inside you, like.
Yo, you can't trust women, bro. You can't.
Woman wicked is it, man? Yeah, no, that was what really turned me off at the first, and I was like, oh, it's like wrestling, it's like WWE, this is
100%.
fake.
Yeah.
And then I learned about them squirting. They like put water up their vaginas and force it out. I'm like, this is come on.
And then the cream pies are lotion. According to Adam 22's wife,
Jesus Christ.
she said it on the
Lena?
podcast once. Yeah, Lena. She's kind of said, I'm like, wait, what? People put.
She said
lotion
this on
in there?
Plug Talk. I need to listen to Plug Talk.
No. Plug Talk.
About to catch if you're playing for Plug Talk still. But yeah, no. That stuff, yeah, it easily turned me off. I like knowing that real people are doing real things.
100%. All right, let me name my 3. It's going to be very hard because I don't watch porn. But if I had to, I would say Violet Myers. I would say, check him up. Look him up. Look her up.
Violet Myers?
Violet Myers.
If she's beat, I'm on your ass. How you spell Myers? Myers?
Yeah.
Violet Myers.
Yeah. Go check out some scenes, man. She's a team player.
Okay.
Referring to, bro.
Oh, this girl. She's always in the loading page. This is a loading page
I've
girl.
sent her out to the algorithm, bro. I've been watching.
She be talking to you at the loading page like, you sure you want to skip this video?
I can't skip it.
It's not.
But, okay, Violet Myers.
This is a nigga that did not skip the loading page. I was wondering, I'm like, who stays on this?
I'm like, yo, you guys should invest in this.
This guy's like, go on.
Who else? Pinky, just cause nostalgia. Cause I feel like as a kid, like.
Oh, okay.
Pinky,
Okay.
Nigga.
I thought it was 2.0. I was like, I like Beta.
Beta
Pinky.
now, but Pinky back then.
Yeah.
No, when you came across the video in high school.
Now you made me remember what Miss Natural. I fuck with her.
Oh,
Touch
that was
me.
good. Yeah.
Touch me.
That was good. Okay, you know what? Fuck it, yeah.
She's the one I forgot. That's the one.
Everyone knows. Look it up. Everyone knows Miss
Go
Natural.
look up Miss Natural.
Shout
man.
out to her. So I guess Miss Natural would be my 3rd one, but yeah.
She's a
those are the
demon.
Top 3.
She's a demon.
Shh, dog.
She scares me.
Ash Cash, honorable mention.
Who?
Ash Cash.
Who's that?
New age shit. This nigga looking over here like we know.
Niggas don't know
Fuck
about
is
the throat
Ash
goat?
Cash? Who's that?
You guys don't know about the throat goat?
Oh wait, the girl with the 2 different color eyes.
2 different color eyes.
Okay, no, I didn't. I think I seen her dick sucking video on Twitter one day, but I didn't know that she does porn.
I don't know. That video was enough.
Oh, it was that video.
Serious.
That's that one video, Hall of Fame. She did say, hey, she was, hey.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, now.
Hey. You know, it's when you go to your old man, but like that girl,
Hey.
she do some things, boy.
Look.
She do some things.
Hey, look at me.
Hey. Anyway, man, yo, thank you for coming on, dog.
No doubt,
It's been
man.
a
Thanks for
fun-ass
having me, bro.
episode. Plug whatever you have to plug.
Extra Gravy, podcast every Wednesday.
You still say civil, Sav.
Civil, nah, Sav has been on the show for a minute. He's doing greater things with the Raptors right now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Civil Sav. But yeah, no, Extra Gravy podcast every Wednesday. Once a month we do Midnight Society, which is a listening event. Right at midnight when the album drops, we listen to it together in a room and we discuss. There's music trivia, prizes, a whole bunch of stuff. I do stand-up. We got a show March 9th at the Libertine. I got a show at Comedy Bar on the 20th and the 21st. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Perfect. That being said, it's been another episode of Returning to My Podcast. You could have been anywhere in the world, not really, but you decided to be here watching us, and I appreciate you for that. So thank you. Have yourself a great, evening, morning, whatever. We out. See you guys in 2 weeks. Boom.